Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel. So today, I hope this video will clear up a lot of people's headache about PO420. Okay, that's a catalytic system efficiently below threshold bank 1. Okay, so as you can see here, that's permanent. Okay, and I'll show you the time. Okay, that is 9:41. Okay, right now on my phone, okay, on my time is almost 1 o'clock. It's 12:45, give or take. Okay, all right. So basically I have tested the car already. Okay, and basically this tells you, okay, because I see on YouTube there's a lot of guys, either quite a few mechanics do themselves and DIY guys. Okay, so nobody's perfect here, but hopefully that this I notice is confuse a lot of people, and even some of the guys, the mechanics, or even a lot of experienced DIY guy who did it, and they say the code comes back on. Okay, so I'm just gonna clear this up. I hope that this will help a lot of people, and if it does for you, please share this video and leave a lot of comment below to help other people here, because my intention is just to help people and save them money and leave them a lot of stress out or get ripped off by mechanics and dealer. Okay, so this video is going to have a lot of information, so stick to the end. And if you don't care, don't stick to the end. This is not the fact that I'm worried about whatever. I just want to help you people who, because once you're getting into PO stuff that relates with Catalytic converter, you're in a whole mess with a lot of money. But don't go bringing into mechanic. One thing you need to have is a scanner. This one, the one I got here, okay, it's decent, about 200 bucks. Okay, it's a new car CS5. Okay, or if you don't want to spend 200 bucks, you got there's I think the Think car one, that's the other part of this. Okay, and they make one for like around 25-30 bucks, and that one has a O2 sensor checking, so which is very good for the price like that. Okay, anyhow, getting to the point, this car, Honda Civic 2014, okay, it's a 4-cylinder, so it has 2 catalytic converter, one from the front and one from the right in the middle of the car, right here in the bottom. Okay, so anybody, it's still, even if you have a a V6 or whatever, it's still the same common sense way. Okay, but right now I'm just talking about anyone who has a 2000 4-cylinder. Okay, so basically, if you have these kind of code, this car came with a code in the beginning with a PO138. Basically, PO138 for this vehicle is the O2 sensor. Okay, O2 sensor. Okay, so O2 sensor O2 sensor 2. Okay, not 1. Bank 1 sensor 2. Okay, does that kind of clear you up? Basically, it's the bottom one. Okay, but that sensor, before this car had that problem, basically the first thing what you should do, okay, you can leave your spark plug. You can leave the sensor on there. Just pull out the plug. If you have a multimeter, okay, this car has there's 4 wires. Make sure if yours has 2 white wires or 2 black wires, you want to get a pin, plug into those 2 pins and measure with 200 ohms. Set it to 200 ohms. Because what you want to do is you want to see if that O2 sensor is bad or not. Even though they tell you PO, okay, PO138. Make sure that is good still. If there is continuity, and depending on the vehicle, what's the continuity for that vehicle is, okay? If it stays at 1, that means that you need to replace that O2 sensor, okay? If it's bad, if it doesn't move. If it does move, the number jumps, that means it does work. It's in good condition. The next step, what you do is you want to open your hood. A lot of people just drive the car, but they never open the hood. They just bring it to mechanic and do their own oil change, or else when they do their own oil change, they never actually look around their car. So the reason why the next solution was, once I changed that, so getting back to the PO138 first, after that one was bad, I changed it, okay? But actually, sorry, I didn't change that one. I opened to check it out, and it does work. Sorry, my bad. I went and opened the hood up because this car belongs to my sister. So she drives it, but I didn't have time. So what happened was, when I drove it, I find kind of funny. The light came on. So when I went to check the hood, basically with these, you have to troubleshoot it, and it comes to that code. But then I also checked the hood, and the problem with the hood is, when I open it up, the vent, okay, for the air filter and the hose, the boot, the big boot that goes into the air, sucks into the air into the injection part, it's ripped up, back and the front. So anyhow, you need to change that first. That's very important. When your car has a PO420, that means they're going to tell you that your car, the Catalytic converter is bad. But not necessarily to that point yet, because this car still had a lot of power. Okay? Still have a lot of power, drive smooth, nothing wrong. So basically what I did, so you should first check around in the front of your hood. Anything relates to air leak, because those can trigger your Catalytic converter. And not only that, anything that's leaked with the air, in the long run, it costs you a lot of money, because people don't pay attention to the Catalytic, to the air system out in the hood. They don't check it. That's why when there's a lot of air leak, 2 times, the system just takes in. That's why fuel injection gets dirty, and all the other part gets dirty. So once it sucks in too much, at a point where the Catalytic converter, it has a ratio that it stays. It has to be, for example, 97. Once it drops a little bit under 97, you're gonna get that code right away. Okay, so basically what you do is go check all these first, and if you have no leak air, okay, then what you do, when you get this PO420, now I know Catalytic converter is very expensive, okay? But if your car, now I'm only saying this way, doing this method only, and to clear a lot of the video out there that's doing it incorrectly, and it's causing people so much headache and people getting it wrong. Sometimes I read this review, I said these guys are doing it wrong. But anyhow, you need to look. If your car has a lot of power still and you're getting that code, that means your Catalytic converter is weak, just a bit underneath the rating of the manufacturer. Okay, that's why it's throwing that code. But if you still have a lot of power, what you do? A spacer. Okay? And I've seen guys getting spark plug spacer and all that. This O2 sensor. Okay? So you don't need to do any drilling. I don't know why they're doing drilling for. But anyhow, as long as it works for you or for them, fine. But all you need to do is, I got the spacer on Amazon. Okay, all you need to do, just buy the O2 sensor spacer. Okay, a lot of them, like they sell it in a package. So the package I bought was for what, I think $11. Okay, and it came in 2. All you have to do now, it tells you right here, okay, bank 1, right? Don't go and put bank 1. I've seen a lot of guys go and put in the bank 1 just because they tell you this is bank 1. That's the Cadillac converter, the front part. Okay, now this, I'm talking about the 4-cylinder, okay? I'm not talking about V6. V6, you have to deal with a different way, but it's still the same method. Don't go and put it at bank 1. You need to put the spacer at bank 2, sensor 2, behind the Cadillac converter. You need to put it there. A lot of guys go and do, and they test it, and then, or they're just making a video, and then they show you, oh, it's clear. No, I'm showing you right now on mine, okay, this, because the problem is I cleared all my code already before I started this, okay? So this was a report at 9 something, okay? So this was the report earlier. Now it's 12 something. That means I reset my my kilometer. I drove 190 something kilometers, okay? Before this, okay, so I'm just showing you before this. Let me just get out of this right now, so I show you how it looks. So this is permanent, right? Before I cleared the code, there was 3 of this sign, 3 coming down, meaning it was pending, and then it was permanent, and then was another time that I cleared the code, so it shows you that. But after I cleared it, I went to drive and all that. I did a lot, and I went straight on the highway for basically, I drove 2 hours. Okay, now the car is hot. I came in, I put the hook up this machine. Okay, and I only get that, but that code was from before. Okay, and now when I turn on the engine, okay, because now I'm turning on the engine, okay, without starting it, okay. So earlier, okay, earlier when I came in, you see it flashing? It turned off. That means to do it right, you need to put it on the O2 sensor spacer. You need to put it on bank 2. Okay, behind the Cadillac converter. Don't put on bank 1. Even though the machine tells you, it only tells you, it's letting you know that the Cadillac converter, the bank 1, has a problem. Because bank 1 gives the ratio of air fuel, and then bank 2 reads it. So if the Cadillac converter is not doing its job, bank 2 tells you that. Basically, that means you need to put the spacer out from bank 2, not on bank 1. Okay, a lot of guys been putting it on that, and that's why they drive. It doesn't matter how long they drive. I've seen so many, like, I'm just cracking up because they just keep on doing this, and guys are not doing it right. That's for one. It's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. But what ticks me off is there are guys that's doing this, that there are quite a few mechanic guys that's doing this just to get views. But they never give you a detail that, okay, why are you doing this and what's the problem right there. I'm telling you, first, start with, if they tell you, let's say if your O2 sensor reads bad, the code, whatever the code gives you, read it, test it with a multimeter. Then, if you ever get a PO420, always go and check, whatever you do, go and check your front hood, see if there's any leak, air leak. Okay, and I'm talking only if you have power still a lot in your car. Okay, this car I maintain it very well. It ever since 2014 now, it's got 270 something kilometers on it, and its still fuel rating is only around 8. Okay, which is very good, because a lot of people's other Civic that's even newer this are driving at 9 and 10, even 11. I've seen a guy with 13. One of my buddies is going 13. He was freaking out why mine is still always. If you take care of oil change at 7,000 instead of 10,000, 6 and 7,000. See, this is a lot of information for you to keep your engine, your car running smooth. Change your filter often or clean it often. Oil change at 6 and 7,000 always. And I always say, if you're gonna go bring in the mechanic to do an oil change, okay, always and always buy your own oil, synthetic, a good brand. Bring it there. That's how I've always done it, and but I've never bring the mechanic. I always do my own oil change. Okay, and let me see what else I'm missing here. Okay, I hope I covered all that, because this video is quite a little bit long, but I really hope that you guys leave some comments. If you're confused something, I'll let you I'll reply as soon as I can, pretty quick actually. But I want to tell you right now, don't bring it to mechanic unless it's one of your good friends. But you need to have a little knowledge, do your own researching too, because a lot of mechanics, they'll chop you this, chop you that, just like a dealer, and you're changing stuff, and you come home and you're still getting the reason why is this: they change it for you, but they don't drive the car only a little bit. It needs to reset at around well, in the state it's by miles, right? So it's 100 and something miles, right? But I drove this car 170 something, 190 something kilometers. Okay, so it's cleared, because usually I test this car a few days, and after 100 something kilometer, it comes right back right away. Okay, but that's because I'm changing, fixing from part to part. I need to get all that cleared. Remember I told you about the boot? I need to fix that first, and then I test the car. Something else came up. After the fixing of that, the code came up. That's when I know, okay, everything's good. There's still power. The Catalytic converter is just a little bit low. Fine. Now I've decided to put the spacer. The only reason why I'm putting the spacer now, because I know the Catalytic converter is still good. It's only below a little bit. And right now, it's getting into winter. I don't want to pull out that Catalytic converter. I don't want to pull it out because there's a lot of downtime. Because once I pull it out, I'm going to be cleaning it properly. Because I want to save it good, because your original is always, unless it's all messed up, you wait until a time when it's all, like I said, your car needs to be in power, strong, in order to do this. Otherwise, because you're going to drive, it's bad. Like you could basically, if your Catalytic converter is really bad, you're going to be killing your system. Okay? You don't want to be doing that. But at the end of the day, I said, and if you do buy a Catalytic converter, please put the money and buy a proper, reasonable price one. Don't be buying the cheap one, because I'm telling you, those ones will still throw you the code. Because you got to think about it. Why is a Catalytic converter so expensive? Because they got that material that's very expensive. I think platinum, palladium or something, plain. I can't pronounce it, but anyhow, they have the expensive material in there. So obviously, if you get the manifold Catalytic converter that if the dealer sells it or other people sell it, the proper one, the original one is for 1,000 something or 2,000 something, and some guy sells it for 200 and something or something. Thinking about it, you think that they're gonna put in the good part? Of course not. It's common sense. And if you're gonna go cheap, then your sensor is gonna come back on again. So if your sensor is gonna come back on again, then what's the point going by that when you can just put a spacer in and just drive like that, right? It doesn't make sense. Basically, you still have to follow and put a good one in later. When the time is right, as a certain time is right for you, okay, put a good. But what I'm trying to say is putting the spacer behind is the right one. That's why you will correct your car, okay? And the reason why I didn't record when the sign was on, okay, another thing, I'm not a good editor. So if I do that and then I turn it off and then I have to drive the car a couple hours to show you, you wouldn't want to be on the phone for a couple hours. So I know the program here on my scanner, OBD scanner here, it still has it in memory. That's where I'm proving it to you that the car has it's in there permanent, that okay, it was on that time, but it's cleared now by itself. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. And you see the flashing. If it's bad, it wouldn't be flashing, it would have stayed on there. Okay, so basically I don't even have to press reset. Those other time, if you guys go through this same problem, you would know that you would press a reset button, okay, and then it stays. But in this scenario, no, it's off, which is a good thing. But guys, I only drove 2 hours and like 190 something kilometers. It should pop up already. However, okay, this next couple of days when I'm still driving a lot, okay, I will leave in the comment and let you know, give you an update that the car is good or no good. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's good, because I've done it to quite a few of the cars of my friends already. So that's why I'm telling you this way, okay? So I hope this video will help you. And if you confuse or something, go back, watch my video over, so then that way the explanation is clear. Because I think I've cleared it up. It's just a lot of my repeat to make you guys understand, okay? It does work, the spacer. It's just that this video, I wanted to help you guys and the people out there, because Cadillac converters are very expensive. And a lot of time, your Cadillac converter is still good. It's not making out those bad smell and all that, okay? Oh, also, one more another tip is, when you get this good, make sure you buy a good cat cleaner. Okay, that's what I forgot to say. That's what I really want to mention here, because you do want to put a good cat cleaner into your fuel. That way it cleans out that it will clean. And don't just put one every month. The first few months, you should be buying a can to put it in with a full tank or whatever it is, a half tank, whatever it is, depending on that bottle tells you the one that you're buying. Okay, the reason why I say that a few bottles for the next few months, your cat is bad. You want to clean it. You don't want to wait for every 6 months or oil change. No, you want to be every month, put it in. Make sure you clean that out good, so then it helps you later down the road that, you know, you don't have to waste on a, make sure that the Cadillac converter does not get worse. Now, another important thing is, when you do this, your fuel, okay, my car, even from factory, if I'm not mistaken, this car's factory is only 7 something 8, okay? That's driving, and that's a city and highway and all that. It's in between that rate all the time, but a lot of people, fuel has gone up. Mine is always stayed like that. However, when I put this spacer in, this old the fuel, you wouldn't believe it, it was at For a time, it was at 5.5, and then later it averages out because I've drove on a full tank. Then later it was at 6.6. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it was 6.6. No, sorry, my bad. It was 5.5, and then it averaged out on a highway straight later to 5.8. That is exact 5.8 I was driving at. Here, let me see if it shows on here again. Let me try to move it. There you go, 5.8. And I drove it 183 kilometers, okay? 5.8, sorry. There, to be exact. So then you guys see all the information I tell you. It's for real, it's not no joke, okay? The only difference right now, you guys are probably concerned. First thing I told you, it's cleared. The engine light has not come back. This is the code from previous earlier 9 something. Okay, now it's like 1 o'clock. Okay, so the next couple days when I'm driving, if it comes back, instead of making another video, I would add it in the comment to let you know that has been fine. The only reason why people are getting it wrong or getting misunderstood because they're going to put the spacer in bank 1. That's why. You need to put in bank 2. Okay? Then that will solve your problem. And I've seen a lot of guys buying spark plugs, spacers and all that. Buy the O2 sensor. That's what it's for. If you could buy the O2 sensor, unless you could not buy the O2 sensor, then you buy the spark plug sensor. Okay? Other than that, buy the O2 sensor. You put it in, it should do the job. Okay? Okay, I hope I got everything now cleared up. So if you guys, I hope it helps you. And if it does, please leave your comment and share with your friends or watch it over. Okay, I know this video is long, but I like to give you all the tips that I could have. That this will help you a lot, because anybody who gets in the PO4 and it comes to catalytic converter, everybody panics and they start to bring it to mechanic, and they think the mechanic knows everything. No, there's a lot of mechanic that screws up, because especially on new mechanic, or even some because you know why? Computers. People rely on computers so much. Okay? Computer, these things, great. It helps. But you need to understand the source. Just like why does a catalytic converter get bad? Air has to get into it. Right? Air has to get into all this part. That's how it makes it bad. To start with. Okay? Or one thing, let's say the part gets old and then the other one works harder, gets harder. That's why it gets bad. You need to understand these facts first. And a lot of them will jump to conclusion, change this and change that. That's where you're going to get killed. Okay? And price. So please, do a little research. But if you follow this step, what I'm telling you, start from one end towards the front. But you need to look around in the front and check if there's any leak all around. Okay? Oh, one more thing I did do. Oh, and this is very important on this vehicle. Okay? Your old when I also replaced the flange gasket between the end pipe of the manifold catalytic converter to the second pipe part, which is down here. Okay? I replaced that ring. Okay? That ring, make sure if you're working to remove any pipe in the bottom, any joint stuff, make sure you unplug the O2 sensor in the bottom here, because the wire is not that long. The moment you remove any certain bolt, guess what happened? Once you remove all those bolts and you yank the thing to release the pipe in between, It falls off, and then what do you think is going to happen? That wire O2 sensor is going to snap. So there you go. And another thing, please don't, if you guys removing O2 sensor, don't be lazy. Remove the plug, then remove the O2 sensor. Don't start watching these guys doing and turn, put the socket in and then turn it and turn it and turn it, and then they remove. No. You know what? These sensors are expensive. O2 sensors are expensive too as well. So if you're gonna, if you got money to throw, yeah, do those. But I always unplug. If you're working on the pipe, make sure you unplug, remove the plug first, because the moment you drop those pipe down, your wire is gonna cut, guaranteed. Unless you get lucky somehow, I don't know, but it will get cut. Okay, I'm telling you that right now. There's quite a. I had a couple of one of my mechanic friend. The guy didn't remove it, and guess what? It dropped it, and yeah, the wire came right off. So I'm just telling you guys, if you do these things, pay attention to all those errors, so then you don't get into that mess. So I know this video is very long, so I hope you all these information helps you guys. So until then, I'll keep you updated, and please let me know how your experience gone. All right, and greatly appreciate it if you share this video. It's for the help of other people as well. Okay, until then, if you like the channel, if you like what I'm telling you about these things, please do subscribe. All right, until then, have a great one, guys.